Good morning, everyone. This is day 28 of the vlog, and our family is on day 73 of distancing physically. Thanks for watching our daily video blog, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube, whether you're watching live or catching the archive, we are glad to have you with us. It is especially fun having the interaction with regulars on Facebook Live. Thanks for your enthusiasm. And thanks also to all of you who have expressed sympathy for Laner and Yiget Lefort and family in Haiti. We would be interested to hear from you, though, about what you like about the vlog. What's your favorite segment? Is it the country of the day, Tiona's book review, the check-in with someone from somewhere in the world, or is it the big daily announcement about what day it is really today? I personally am a fan of Eliza's graphics myself. Thanks to all of those, though, who've made suggestions, and for regular viewers, you might notice one recent change on the vlog. Yes, I tried to minimize the risk by wearing a mask and by being the first client in line on the very first day that Great Clips on 23rd Street in Independence was reopened. But I did get a haircut. First haircut since February 28th. It feels so luxurious. As things around here, though, open up a bit, everyone is in my prayers as we try to be careful and exercise caution. Today's daily prayer for peace country is Palau. Today you're invited to pray for peace. You can find the link to the daily prayer for peace each day offered by Community of Christ in the description for my vlog. And today I also invite you to remember Palau with us and to remember that there's a world out there. Tiona has another book recommendation ready for us. The book today is called Meg, Joe, Beth, and Amy, a graphic novel, a modern retelling of Little Women. It's by Ray Terciero with illustrations by Bree Indigo and was published in 2019 by Little Brown Books for Young Readers. Tiona says, I actually like the modern retelling better than the original. And yes, Tiona adds, I've read the original one twice. I've also read an adaptation on it with vampires. Tiona says that was my least favorite. This book is a modern retelling where the family lives in New York and the family is biracial. Just like in the original, the father is off fighting in a war, but instead of the Civil War, he's fighting in Iraq. Joe is gay and comes out at Thanksgiving time. Beth battles leukemia. The pictures are great, says Tiona. I just stumbled onto this book on a shelf at the library. I loved it so much that I read it like 3 or 4 times back to back. So do check it out. Okay, it's time for my daily check-in with someone from the areas I get to serve in my work with Community of Christ. For my most recent check-in, I reached out to a dear friend and asked if she'd be willing to break the rules with me. I know, I've kind of said that I'm checking in with people from my field. Well, for a number of reasons, including the fact that music is a universal language, and because she said yes when I asked, I decided to check in with my friend Jan Grabow from right here in Kansas City. We had a great visit via Zoom. I've known Jan for quite a few years now, really beginning when I first came to work at Community of Christ International Headquarters in Independence. Jan was serving as principal organist and general musical genius for Community of Christ. I dare say that in the Community of Christ little universe, there are a handful of people who immediately evoke feelings of love amongst the membership. People have special feelings of affection and appreciation for President Veazey, for sure. But nobody is more loved in Community of Christ than Jan Grabow. That's because of her unparalleled musical talent, certainly, but it's also due to this gorgeous spirit of grace and love that she emits in everything she does. She and I have been through some difficult times together in the recent history of the church. And in my experience, Jan never wavers in her integrity and kindness. So it was wonderful to be able to visit with her. If you live in the Kansas City area, you may have seen the recent great feature on Jan in the Kansas City Star. For those of you not in the area, I highly recommend looking up Jan on Facebook. where she's been spoiling fans with wonderful wisdom and carefully curated content for this unique time. Jan told me that she's been watching the vlog with us, which delighted our team. I asked Jan how she's been doing, and she described a journey. Jan said it took me 8 weeks to get to a place where I'm not waking up in the middle of the night and to where I'm not fretting. Jan clarified that it's not that there's no concern for the future anymore. Jan went on, the future is uncertain for everyone in the world right now. Everyone has a journey that they bring to that. Jan talked about the young parent wondering what school was going to be like for their child. Jan expressed empathy for the recent college graduate unsure about a first job, and about healthcare workers unsure when they'll ever get time off and a rest. One of the things that has brought comfort to Jan has been thinking about the instruments she plays. She says she looks at these instruments that outlive human lifetimes. She looks out over the pipes in the auditorium organ and considers all that they've been through and all that they've seen. And Jan adds, they've had busy times and lots of times just sitting. But Jan has been busy. We talked about the devastating impact of the pandemic on musicians, all performances canceled, and pretty much all sources of income too. And by the way, and I guess I offer this to further justify squeezing Jan into my field check-in, Jan was in Ottawa, Canada, my hometown, for a weekend workshop, worship, and concert right at the moment in March when everything started to shut down. She got to do the Saturday workshop and the Sunday worship service, and then the Monday evening concert was canceled, and she came home early. She traveled through Chicago the day after the mass of people thronged into the international arrivals area at O'Hare and was advised to quarantine for 14 days because of her travel. Of course, by the time her quarantine was done, Kansas City was going into shutdown and stay-at-home order. Another one of Jan's canceled commitments was a scheduled trip to performing, teaching, and ministry with our Community of Christ folks in the Vancouver area. Jan's been with them before. They're such a musical bunch, and they make magic together. The day I talked with Jan was the day she was scheduled to be traveling back from Vancouver. But like I say, Jan's been keeping busy. Look at Jan's Facebook page and enjoy her many performance videos. Jan says, what we do is completely different now, as she reflects on learning to record and produce video during the pandemic. She says, I feel the need to make music and to share it. So Jan's been putting music out there, and some of you may have seen her recordings at her home pipe organ or piano. I've seen Jan's recordings used in various online worship services, from Edmonton to when Apostle Mareva Arnaud used one of Jan's recordings in her worship to open one of our recent Council of 12 meetings. Jan talked about how all musicians are in the same situation and about the great spirit of collaboration that there is right now between them. I love the story. She told me about a Community of Christ member from Northern Ontario, Wendy Tremblay, writing to Jan to request that she record a specific piece of music, When Morning Gilds the Skies by Victor Labaneski. Jan had to explain to Wendy what she's had to tell several people, that there's no way to cover costs right now, and that in this unique time, she's been careful to only put out music that is in the public domain, or that is hers, or that belongs to close friends she can get permission from easily. But Wendy quickly came back with the assertion that she knew Victor, had worked with him on something, and was sure she could get permission. And she did. And so you can listen to this beautiful recording on Jan's Facebook page, along with Jan's lovely verbal reflection on the piece. Jan was all dressed up for our Zoom call. Well, sort of. She explained that she didn't actually get all dressed up for Zooming with me. She was in fact headed out to the Community of Christ Temple in Independence for a concert. She had been given permission to record herself for a series of online organ concerts, 6 organs in 6 days, taking place this week online and organized by Carol Williams of California. It'll be an iPhone recording, not professionally recorded, but very professionally played. You can read about that great series on Jan's Facebook page, and you'll be able to watch her performance on Friday of this week. Like I say, Jan's been busy. She talked of online events to replace the annual May American Guild of Organists Bach-a-thon, a Kaufman Center virtual organ recital that will be professionally recorded, an upcoming Future Stages project, also with the Kaufman, and none of these things are paying gigs. With more time on her hands, Jan says she's been listening to more music. She's also discovered some great online resources, like some lessons available on jazz from a great master, so she's been working on her jazz improv skills. And Jan's been walking. She says she's up to between 5 and 7 miles every day. She's been watching online church services from her church in Prairie Village, but reconnecting with nature has been super important to her spirituality and mental health right now. Jan says, "I'm convinced that there's an interconnectedness in all things." Jan also says, "I'm an introvert at heart. And at the beginning of this, it was like, thank you for this time. But now," she says, "I'm missing kids and hugs and people. I would even like to just be in a room for a meeting with other people in the same space." But Jan says, yes, the big struggle has been worry. But we have a roof over our heads and food, and I love Alan, who I'm quarantined with. So Jan says she's okay. Okay, so it's time for our big daily announcement. Da 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 da. Now in this moment, now in this day. But the question is, what day is today? Wait for it. Today is Thursday!
Yay, Thursday! Yay, yay, yay!
Yay, Thursday! Okay, friends, I'm not going to keep you much longer than that. I'm hoping to be back again tomorrow with another What Day Is Today video blog. Again tomorrow, I'll remind you of the daily prayer for peace country of the day. Tiona will have another book recommendation, and I'm looking forward to reporting on another check-in with another person to update you on how they're doing. I will put a link in the description to the Facebook event for that first virtual organ festival, that 6 organists in 6 days virtual event that Jan was headed to the temple to record for. I'll also put a link to Wendy's repost of Jan's rendition of Victor Levensky's When Morning Gilds the Skies. And by all means, just browse down Jan's Facebook page to discover many wonderful treats. Or go to Jan's website, which includes a link to her calendar. Okay, so I'm signing off for now from my home in Independence, Missouri. Until tomorrow, friends, please remember to breathe.